While Ivanka Trump may best be known for her role on Celebrity Apprentice, she is also just an amazing business person with her own line of apparel and jewelry, and she's also heavily involved in the Trump family brand. After all, her father is the Donald Trump. She is also a wife and a mother. Talk about balancing it all. Ivanka joins us this morning to share some of her multitasking secrets. Can't wait to hear. Hey, Ivanka, good morning to you.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure being on, Danielle. Balance is one of these funny words that used to not mean a lot to me. And I used to think, oh, balance, you can't really, you can never plan ahead when it comes to sort of balancing out your life, because you just sort of have to roll with the punches. And obviously things come up unexpectedly. But being a new mom, I am much more cognizant of exactly that word, making sure that I prioritize correctly. On some days I prioritize better than others, but generally speaking, being cognizant of having my finger on the pulse of what's important. And, I always want to be there for my daughter. I always want to be there for my husband, but I also am really personally fulfilled by the work that I do. So, managing that dynamic has quite a bit of complexity.
Now, how old is your daughter now?
10 months. 10 months.
I'll tell you what, you are a busy lady. How do you balance it all?
Well, I think I sleep materially less than I used to, which doesn't help my personal equilibrium, but at least creates a few more hours in the day to be productive. But also staying in touch vis-a-vis social media and tweeting and posting on Facebook, and staying connected with our office. So I recently teamed up with Motorola because I think they represent the best-in-class company from the standpoint of smartphone technology. And I'm madly obsessed with their Droid Razr Max smartphone because it enables me to talk for 21 hours without the battery dying. So for somebody who travels as much as I do, I'm very appreciative of technology that's functional and pragmatic and keeps me organized.
It's interesting because nearly everybody has a mobile phone. Mine's practically attached to my hip at all times. But because you're always on the go, can you use that technology to your advantage?
Absolutely. You'll read articles about how we're too connected and multitasking and things like this, and all of that I believe is true. But technology is such an amazing resource. It's just, the burden's on us to use it smartly and to find that which works for us. So I have found that in the Motorola products, and I'm very excited about it.
Well, what are some of the great features of this technology that make you more productive?
Well, I think managing everything. For me, I'm constantly reading long legal documents, so having a functional keypad that I can edit documents with is great. So I've never been particularly skilled at the one finger point type of typing. So I like the Motorola Droid 4 because it has a great keypad that I can really aggressively type out long emails. And then I was mentioning the Razr Max before, it has the long battery life. So I really use the phones interchangeably based on what I need.
Ivanka, I've watched you in interviews and then, of course, on Celebrity Apprentice. How do you, as a woman, kind of maneuver what can at times be shark-infested waters and then still come out of it with your credibility intact?
I try to stay calm whenever possible. I think when you get flustered or exasperated and lose your cool, it actually makes you less productive. Somebody was recently using the analogy of a duck. Everything's calm and tranquil on the surface, but underneath the water, they're kicking like mad. So I try to reflect on that sometimes when I feel overwhelmed. But generally speaking, anytime I am overwhelmed, I try to think about how lucky I am. I have a great husband. I have a healthy daughter. I was born into great circumstances, and I'm very lucky, really from the start. So, it helps put things into perspective.
I have 3 children, and many of our viewers here who watch The Balancing Act on Lifetime are wives and mothers as well. What is your best kind of go-to tip on playing to win, which, by the way, is the name of your New York Times bestseller, I might mention?
Thank you. I think in terms of, from a professional perspective, it's really identifying your passion and pursuing it doggedly. So many people work really hard and feels that they only moderately like, or that they've outgrown, careers that have long since been fulfilling to them. And I think that taking a step back and saying I'll never accomplish much in an industry that I'm not really passionate about is an important thing to recognize. All the most successful people I know, it's not necessarily that they're the smartest person who's ever endeavored to do that thing, but rather that they're the hardest working, the most driven, the most energetic, and the most committed to succeeding. So I think that really outweighs a lot of other elements.
Well, what an absolute pleasure to meet you,
Thank
Ivanka.
you.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Oh, and before I let you go, where can we go for more information on the importance of mobile devices for staying on task at work and at home?
You can go to Motorola.com/business ready.
Thanks again. Take care.
Thank you so much. Take care.